Hi. I just have a little bit of information from what I've been getting the last couple of days about something that needs to be released in the full moon. And it has to do with some sort of event that happened that was maybe a little bit traumatic for you. So I'm seeing like the ending of something, a breakup, getting fired, or having to quit a job. It's like a little shocking and an abrupt kind of. Now, it could be that there were red flags. There were incidences leading up to it, but the event itself, like when it actually happened, when it was the ending, there's a little bit of energy there that needs to be healed and kind of reprocessed. And what you believe about yourself because of the ending of it. It's like that needs to be shifted and changed in the way that you look at yourself and the way that it was processed and absorbed, right? So I do feel like it's kind of stored in your body somewhere, like the event itself, like that shocking moment, or that just like all of a sudden, this thing, this realization, this ending. Could be when somebody passed too, and when you got the news of when someone passed. That moment was a traumatic moment that then the energy of that survival mode, that shock gets stored in your body somewhere. And I feel like it is being stirred up right now to come to your awareness. To be reprocessed because what you believe about yourself in that moment or believed about yourself in that moment, it's like stuck in your tissue. It's toxic. It's not right. It's not aligned. It's not real. It could be that's what it is too. Like this isn't real, or kind of have a little bit of an out of body experience because you disassociate in the moment, but your body remembers. But it feels like what your body remembers, the way that it remembers it, isn't right. It isn't true to you or something like that. It's like a limiting belief. Okay? And it could be that, like, it's my fault, or I wish I would have done this, or I should have done this, or I should have done something differently. And in that way, it's like resisting the end of it as if the end wasn't exactly what was supposed to have happened. As part of your path, it was aligned. The ending sometimes is aligned with where you're supposed to go. But in the moment, it was like, I don't want this to be happening. It's a massive change. It's a shocking kind of change. But it's time to look back on it now and really gain some insight on, number one, how far you've come since then, how just maybe serendipitous it could have been, whatever it was. And the strength that you've gained, the knowledge, the energetic knowledge that you've gained since then. I feel it here in my upper back. Like a lot of times when I sit here for a little bit, like, I don't know, my posture is a little bad. I've always had really bad posture. I've always had this just really heavy shoulders and heavy chest and things like that. And so when I sit for a long amount of time, even though my shoulders aren't quite as heavy as they were before, I'm used to carrying the load. I'm used to this way of sitting. So it's like I have to retrain myself. But when I sit here for a while, I notice that it's there. So it's like that's where it's stored in my body anywhere. That's where it's showing up for me, is that pain right there. It's not just because of my posture. It's because I said it's stored in your body and then it shows up as pain that is making itself known. So that's where it's stored for me. And it does take some reprogramming, some training to reset your posture. My body knows the old way of being, this old heavier me. And it adapted to that old heavier me. And it could be like symbolically the weight that I used to carry on my shoulders. Physically, it is a weight that I used to carry here in my upper body. It takes some conscious effort to retrain and reprogram that muscle memory. I have muscle memory from when I carried a heavier load. And I have to just retrain my body until it just becomes second nature. Until then, I have new muscle memory. But the weight that's stored in that upper part of my back right there, that needs to be released first. That's where whatever traumatic experience I'm talking about, for me, that's where it's stored. So for me, it could be, there was a time that I got fired. I was just recently talking to a friend of mine about that. That event got stored right there. The breakup of my marriage, or like the moment when he said, I am not happy. It was like he was implying I want out. But what I heard was, I'm not happy, and I carried the weight of that as my responsibility. It was my responsibility to make him happy and keep him happy, and the fact that he wasn't happy was my fault. I carried that belief, and that's where it's sitting right there. So that needs to be worked. You can do body work, get a massage, with the acknowledgement that this is not just a pain that's coming up in my body because I have bad posture. It is also energetic underneath that I have stored in that place, that traumatic shock. That's where it was stored. So once I locate it, then I can do the work to release it, and not just mentally or energetically or spiritually, but physically too, using my physical body to do that. Okay? It's connected to self-worth. It's connected to money. It's connected to many, many, many different things that I've been working on. But now it's like my body is signaling to me where it is, that it's come to the surface. It's almost like there's an imbalance underneath, and it has come to the surface to work its way out, but you didn't even know it because your body was signaling in a certain way that you're not in communication with. And now it's at the surface. Pain in your hip, pain in your knee, or maybe it's not even pain, maybe it's like numbness. That's where the disassociation is sitting in your body. That's where you stored it. Your body remembers. So listen to it. For some of you, this is about death also, like the loss of someone, that in the moment you stored it, and it's stored in your body and it's coming out. Certain areas, I can see it in like a couple of different areas. Something on the surface. Maybe it's not even muscular, or bone feels like surface, like skin or tissue or fascia. I'm just hearing the fascia. So take it however it resonates for you, okay? Now I need to stretch. Now I need to get up and go walk and stretch. And now that I've located it, I'm going to do some work to help to release that. The weight of responsibility, carrying all that weight. It was never my responsibility to make him happy, or his happiness was always on my shoulders. That needs to be reprogrammed. Okay? Let me know how that resonates for you. Leave a comment in the box below and let me know if you know what it is for you, what that limiting belief is, or where it is in your body. Leave a comment in the box below. If you need some help with that, with finding where it is in your body, I can help you to kind of meditate and communicate with your body to find it. Or if you need to know what the limiting belief is there too, for some of you, it's that it was your fault, that it was your responsibility, that it was your role, and you failed, or I'm a failure, or whatever it is. It's important to find that too, connect the dots, and release it mind, body, and spirit. Okay? So if you need help with any aspect of that, All my information is down in the box below. The best way to communicate with me right now is through email. I don't have my availability updated right now. There's something going on with my website that I am in the process of restructuring, and I have for a while. I'm getting to it. But the best way to communicate with me is through email, and we can set up a one-on-one session, or I can just do a reading for you, or a healing, or whatever it is that you need. Okay? So, hawkjourneys@gmail.com. That is also down in the box below. Thank you. I love you.